cobbler's punch, treacle, vinegar, gin and water. Cock or chief, cock of walk. The leading man in a society or body, the best boxer in a village or district, cock ale, the provocative drink, cock ale or cock lane, the private parts of a woman, cock and a bull story, a roundabout story without a head or tails, i.e. beginning or ending. Cock of company, a weak man who from desire or being the head of the company associates with low people and pays all the reckoning. Cock a whoop, elevated in high spirits, transported with joy. Cockboard, a male keeper of bawdy house. Cockhoist, a cross buttock. Cockish, wanton forward, a cockish wench, a forward-coming girl. Cockles, to cry cockles, to be hanged, perhaps from the noise made while strangling. Can't this will rejoice the cockles of one's heart. A saying in praise of wine, ale, or spirituous liquors. Pimp. Where the fuck were I? Cock pimp. Cock pimp. The supposed husband of a bored. Cock Robin, a soft, easy fellow. Cock Sir, sure. Certain, a metaphor borrowed front the cock, or a firelock as being much more certain to fire than a match. Cock your eye, shut one eye, thus translated into apothecaries, Latin, gallus, tus, ego. Cocker, one found the version of cockfighting, cockney, a nickname given to the citizens of London or persons, where the fuck was I? Citizens of London, born within the sound of bell, derived from the following story. A citizen of London, being the country, and hearing a horse neigh, exclaimed, Lord, how that horse laughs. A bystander telling him that noise was called neighing. The next morning, when the cock crowed, the citizen, the shoe he had not forgot what was told him, cried out, Do you hear that cock neighs? The king of the cockneys mentioned among the regulations for the sports and shows formerly held in the Middle Temple on Childmas Day, where he had his officers. Where the fuck did I just go? There we go. Where had his officers, a marshal, constable, butler, and see Dugdale's original Jury de Kaka of Jury de Cales, page 2047. 247. Ray says the interpretation of the word cockney is a young person coz, so conquered, made wanton, or a nestle cock, delicately bred and brought up so as, when arrived, a man's estate to be unable to bear the least hardship. Whatever may be the origin of the appellation, we learn from the following verses attributed to Hugh Bigot, Earl of Norfolk, that it was in use the time of King Henry II. Was I in my castle at Bungay, fast by river of Waveney, I would not care for King Cockney, I the King of London. That'll do for now. Okay then, that's up to there of Captain Gross's Dictionary of Vulgar Tongue. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello. Continuing Captain Gross's Dictionary. Cock shut time. The evening when fowls go to roost. Cod. A cod of money. A good sum of money. Codders. Persons employed by the gardeners to gather peas. Codger. An old fellow. Codpiece. The foreflap of a man's breeches. Do they bite, master? Wherein the codpiece of collar or jugular, attack on a patient angler, by waterman. Cods, the scrotum, also a nickname for a curate, a rude fellow meeting a curate, mistook him for the rector and accosted him with a vulgar appellation of bollocks. They censored it. The rector, no sir, answered he, only cods to curate at your service. Cod's head, a stupid fellow. Coffee house, a necessary house, to make coffee house. Of a woman's cunt, to go in and out and spend nothing. Okay, coke, the money or whatsoever the sweeteners drop to draw in a bubble. Cog, a tooth, a queer cog, a rotten tooth. How the coal flashes his queer cogs, how the fool shoes his rotten teeth. To cog, to cheat with dice, also to coax or wheedle, to cog a die, to conceal or secure a die, to cog a dinner, to wheedle one out of dinner. Cogue, a dram of any spirituous liquor. Coker, a lie. Coax, the fool in the play of Bartholomew. Fair, perhaps a contraction of the word coxcomb. Cold cannon, potatoes, cabbage pounded together in a mortar and then stewed with butter, an Irish dish. Cold, you will catch cold at that. A vulgar threat or advice to desist from an attempt. He caught cold by lying in bed barefoot. A saying of anyone extremely tender or careful of himself. Cold burning, a punishment inflicted by private soldiers on their comrades for trifling offences or breach of their mess laws. It is administered in the following manner. Fuck off, leave me alone. It is administered in the following manner. Where was I? The prisoner is set against the wall with the arm which is to be burned tied as high his head as possible. The executioner then ascends a stool and having a bottle of cold water pours it slowly down the sleeve of the delinquent, patting him and leading the water gently down his body till it runs out at his breeches knees. This is repeated to the other arm if he is sentenced to be burned in both. Okay, cold cook, an undertaker of funerals, or carry-on hunter, see carry-on hunter. Cold iron, a sword or any other weapon for cutting or stabbing. I gave him 2 inches of cold iron into his beef. Cold meat, a dead wife is the beat cold meat in a man's house. Cold pig. To give cold pig is a punishment inflicted on sluggards who lie too long in bed. It consists in pulling off all bedclothes from them and throwing cold water upon them. Cold pudding. This is said to settle one's love. Coal, money. Post the coal, pay down the money. Colander, or coriander seeds. Colander or coriander seeds, money. Collar day, execution day. College, Newgate, or any other prison. New College, Royal Exchange. King's College, the King's Bench prison. He has been educated at the Steel. It took his last degree at college. He has received his education at the House of Correction and was hanged at Newgate. That's nice. College Cove. The College Cove has numbered him, and if he is knocked down, he'll be twisted. The turnkey of Newgate has told the judge, how many times has the prisoner has been tried before, therefore he is found guilty? He certainly will be hanged. It is said to be the custom of the Old Bailey for one of the turnkeys of Newgate to give information to the judge how many times an old offender has been tried, by holding up as many fingers as the number of times the prisoner has been arranged at that bar. Collegiates. Prisoners of the one, shopkeepers of the other of those places. Collector, highwayman. Turcolog. To wheedle or coax. Cook ruffian, who roasted the devil in his feathers, a bad cook. Cool crepe, a shroud. Caller, a woman. Caller, the backside. Kiss my caller, kiss my ass. It is principally used to signify a woman's posteriors. Cool lady, a female follower of the camp who sells brandy. Cool Nance, brandy. Cool tankard, wine, water with lemon, sugar, and borage. Coal quarren, a man's neck. His coal quarren is just about to be twisted. He's going to be hanged. Cunt. Colt, one who lets horses to highwaymen. Also a boy newly initiated into roguery, a grand or petty juryman on his first assize. Cunt. Coltage, a fine or beverage paid by colts on their first entering into their offices. Colt bow. Bowl. Colt bowl. Laid short of the jack by a colt bowler, i.e. a person raw or unexperienced in the art of bowling. Colt's tooth, an old fellow who marries or keeps a young girl, is said to have a colt's tooth in his head. Colt veal, coarse red veal, more like the flesh of a colt than a calf. Comb, to comb's one head. To clap a claw or scold anyone, a woman who lectures her husband is said to comb his head. She combed his head with a joint stool. She threw a stool at him. Come, to lend. Has he come it? Has he lent it? To come over anyone, to cheat, to overreach. Coming wench, a forward wench, also a breeding woman. Coming, so is Christmas, said of a person who has long been called, and at a length answers coming. Comfortable importance, a wife. Commission, a shirt, cunt. Commode, a woman's headdress. Commodity, a woman's commodity, the private parts of a modest woman, and the public parts of a prostitute. Commons, the House of Commons, the necessary house. Company, to see company, to enter into a course of prostitution. Complement, see Christmas. Carmuxus's Court, a social meeting formerly held at the Half Moon Tavern, Cheapside. Confect, counterfeited. Conga, to conga, the agreement of a set or not of booksellers of London, that whoever of them shall buy a good copy, the rest shall take off such a particular number, requires a stated price, also the booksellers joining to buy either a considerable or dangerous copy. Congo, will you lap your Congo with me? Will you drink tea with me? Connie Wabble. Eggs and brandy beat up together. Irish. Conscious keeper, a superior who by his influence makes his dependents act as he pleases. Content. The cow's content, the man is past complaining. A saying of a person murdered for resisting the robbers. Cunt. Content. A thick liquor in imitation of chocolate, made of milk and gingerbread.